When it comes to buying a truck, we all want to feel like we're making a smart investment, something that's powerful, reliable, and built to last. So why are these trucks being ditched so fast? What makes them so unreliable? And which model will cost you a fortune before you even finish paying it off? In this video, we're counting down 20 trucks that drivers sell after only 5,000 miles due to shocking reliability issues, costly repairs, and frustrating breakdowns. And trust me, some of these might surprise you, especially the last one, which turned out to be a financial disaster for thousands of owners. The 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. This model promised to continue the Chevrolet Silverado legacy with updated technology, modernized styling, and a refined interior. However, for many early buyers, the experience quickly turned from excitement to regret within the first 5,000 miles. One of the biggest complaints surrounding the 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 was its unreliable transmission. Owners reported experiencing harsh shifts, hesitation between gears, and even instances of complete transmission failure right from the start. For a brand new truck, these issues were completely unacceptable and left many drivers feeling frustrated. To make matters worse, check engine lights became a common sight for Silverado owners within just weeks of ownership. Many reported that even after repeated trips to the dealership, their trucks continued to display warning lights and experience engine-related malfunctions. Some trucks suffered from fuel injection problems, while others faced electronic throttle control issues that caused erratic acceleration. And if you thought that was bad, wait until you hear about the reliability disaster from a brand that is usually rock solid, the 2022 Toyota Tundra. When Toyota announced a complete redesign of the Toyota Tundra for the model year 2022, truck enthusiasts had high expectations. Toyota introduced a new twin-turbocharged engine and a more advanced infotainment system, promising better performance, efficiency, and cutting-edge technology. Unfortunately, the early buyers of the 2022 Toyota Tundra were met with major reliability problems that made them question their purchase within only 5,000 miles. The 2022 Toyota Tundra was also having its malfunctioning infotainment system. Many drivers experienced complete system failures, frozen touchscreens, and sudden blackouts while driving. The system was supposed to be one of the most advanced Toyota had ever put into a truck, but instead it became one of its biggest weaknesses. Then, oil leaks began appearing in some 2022 Toyota Tundra trucks well before they reached the 10,000 mile mark. This was highly unusual for a brand new truck, and it left many drivers frustrated, especially those who purchased the Toyota Tundra expecting bulletproof reliability. Toyota fans, do not get too comfortable. There is another one coming up that might surprise you. The 2021 Ford F1 150 Hybrid. The Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in the United States for decades, and Ford's decision to introduce a hybrid version of the Ford F1 150 was seen as a revolutionary move toward efficiency and sustainability. However, for many early adopters, the experience quickly turned into a costly headache within just a few thousand miles. One of the most concerning issues was the hybrid system itself. Many owners reported sudden power losses while driving, often at the worst possible moments. In some cases, the hybrid battery system failed completely, requiring expensive repairs or full replacements within the first few months of ownership. Transmission problems also plagued the 2021 Ford F150 Hybrid. Many owners in colder climates reported severe transmission hesitation, rough shifting, and even complete transmission failure before reaching 5,000 miles. This was a major setback for drivers who expected a smooth and reliable driving experience from a brand new truck. For a truck that was marketed as the future of the pickup segment, the 2021 Ford F150 Hybrid ended up disappointing many of its early buyers. Speaking of hybrid nightmares, this next truck had even dealers scratching their heads. The 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Marketed as the ultimate adventure truck, the 2020 Jeep Gladiator was supposed to combine the best elements of the legendary Jeep Wrangler with the utility of a mid-sized truck. Unfortunately, many early buyers quickly regretted their purchase, selling their Jeep Gladiators after only a few thousand miles due to a series of frustrating reliability problems. The most frequent complaint was with the four-wheel drive system. Many owners reported that the system failed to engage or disengage properly, leaving them stuck in the wrong drive mode. This was a major problem for off-road enthusiasts who relied on the four-wheel drive capabilities of their truck. Another common issue was the suspension system. Many Jeep Gladiator owners noticed that their trucks suffered from uneven tire wear within just a few months. Some even experienced severe bouncing and shaking at highway speeds, a phenomenon often referred to as the death wobble. Jeeps are built for adventure, but what if your truck cannot even survive the driveway? The 2019 Nissan Titan. While the Nissan Titan had its loyal fan base, the 2019 model year left many buyers feeling frustrated and disappointed within just a few thousand miles. One of the most common complaints was rear axle failures. Many Nissan Titan owners reported hearing strange noises, experiencing excessive vibrations, and in some cases, completely losing power to the rear wheels. Transmission issues were another major concern. Some Nissan Titan owners experienced overheating transmissions even when towing light loads. This resulted in sluggish performance and, in severe cases, full transmission failure. Oil consumption problems also plagued the 2019 Nissan Titan. Many owners found themselves needing to add oil far more frequently than expected, raising concerns about premature engine wear. That is not the only Nissan that had drivers waving the white flag early. 2018 Chevrolet Colorado. Many buyers choose the Colorado for its manageable size, which makes it easier to maneuver in tight spaces while still providing the ruggedness expected from a pickup. However, despite its promising appeal, the 2018 Chevrolet Colorado has left many owners frustrated due to a series of mechanical and electrical failures. This model had frequent transmission software issues, causing delayed shifts, jerky acceleration, and in some cases, a complete failure to engage gears properly. Many drivers reported that the transmission would hesitate before downshifting or struggle to find the right gear, leading to an unpredictable and unpleasant driving experience. Additionally, build quality was a frequent point of concern. Panel gaps, misaligned trim pieces, and a noticeable lack of structural refinement were common complaints. Water leaks in the cabin, particularly around the door seals, led to damp carpets, musty odors, and potential long-term damage to interior components. For a truck designed to be durable, these premature issues proved to be a major letdown for buyers. Think a mid-sized truck is a safer bet. This next one proves otherwise. 2017 General Motors Company Sierra 1500. The General Motors Company Sierra 1500 has long been a popular choice for those seeking a full-size pickup with refined styling, a powerful engine lineup, and a comfortable ride. The Sierra offers premium interior options, advanced towing features, and an infotainment system that, in theory, should enhance the driving experience. However, the 2017 model left many owners regretting their purchase within the first few thousand miles due to severe reliability problems. A major and expensive problem with this model was its transmission. Even when lightly used, transmission failures were one of the top complaints. Owners reported hard shifts, erratic gear changes, and in some cases a complete transmission failure that required full replacements within the first few thousand miles. Another major complaint was the rough ride quality. Weak suspension components led to excessive bouncing, uneven tire wear, and an overall uncomfortable driving experience. Some owners reported that the truck's ride became so harsh that it felt unstable on highways, making it far from the smooth and refined experience General Motors Company originally advertised. But don't think we're done with General Motors Company yet, because their next truck left owners even more frustrated. 2016 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 Heavy Duty. For truck enthusiasts who need serious towing power, the Chevrolet Silverado 2500 Heavy Duty is often a go-to option. However, the 2016 model failed to live up to expectations, and many owners found themselves facing major mechanical issues within just a few months of ownership. The Duramax diesel engine of this model was notorious for frequent failures of the fuel injectors and fuel pump. Many owners experienced sudden power loss, rough idling, and in some cases, complete engine shutdowns due to these fuel system problems. Replacing fuel injectors and pumps on a diesel truck is both costly and frustrating, especially when it happens so early in the vehicle's lifespan. Perhaps the most terrifying problem of all was what some owners referred to as the death wobble. At highway speeds, drivers would experience extreme and uncontrollable shaking in the suspension, making the truck nearly impossible to steer. This issue was not only frustrating, but also incredibly dangerous, leading some owners to sell their trucks rather than risk their safety. A truck should last for years, but some of these couldn't even make it past the first oil change. 2015 Ram 1500 EcoDiesel. This model was supposed to be a game changer in the truck world, but for many early buyers, the reality of owning this truck turned out to be far less appealing than the sales pitch. Owners reported frequent turbo failures, which led to sudden power loss and expensive repairs. The turbo issues often resulted in sluggish acceleration, excessive black smoke from the exhaust, and, in some cases, complete engine failure. Given that the turbocharger is a key component of the diesel engine's efficiency, these failures were a major deal breaker for many owners. The emissions system also turned into a major headache. To comply with environmental regulations, Ram equipped this model with an advanced emissions control system, but it quickly proved to be unreliable. Many owners experienced frequent check engine lights, limp mode activations, and expensive emissions-related repairs. Adding to the frustration, some owners found that their trucks would randomly enter limp mode, reducing power output to prevent engine damage. While this feature is meant to be a safeguard, it is often activated unnecessarily, leaving drivers struggling to accelerate or maintain highway speeds. Ram fans, brace yourselves because another one's coming up soon. 2014 Ford F-Series 250 Power Stroke. Designed to haul heavy loads and handle demanding jobs, it is a staple among those who rely on their trucks for serious tasks. However, the 2014 models equipped with the 6.7-liter Power Stroke diesel engine turned out to be a source of frustration for many early buyers. A recurring problem with this model was the unreliable performance of its fuel injectors. Many owners reported rough idling, misfiring, and difficulty starting due to faulty injectors. These failures often occurred within the first few thousand miles, leaving buyers dealing with costly repairs almost immediately after purchase. Additionally, turbo lag was a persistent issue with this model. Some owners reported a noticeable hesitation when accelerating, making the truck feel unresponsive, especially when towing heavy loads. This issue led to a frustrating and sometimes dangerous driving experience, particularly for those who depended on the truck's power for work. Heavy-duty trucks should be able to handle the workload, but this next one might just quit on you. 2013 Toyota Tacoma. Known for its off-road capabilities, reliability, and strong resale value, it has been a go-to choice for adventure seekers and work truck enthusiasts alike. However, the 2013 Toyota Tacoma had a severe and costly flaw that forced many owners to part ways with their trucks far sooner than they expected. This model had its frame rust problem, which was so severe that Toyota was eventually forced to extend its rust warranties to address the widespread issue. Many owners reported that their trucks began showing rust within the first few years of ownership, with some even experiencing complete structural failures within a shockingly short period. This issue was particularly devastating for those living in regions where road salt was used during winter months. Additionally, automatic transmission models suffered from downshifting problems that frustrated drivers, particularly when decelerating. The truck would often struggle to find the right gear, causing an unpredictable and sometimes dangerous driving experience. Another major flaw was the weak rear leaf springs, which led to uneven ride height and premature wear, affecting both performance and safety. Toyota is known for reliability, but even they have a few black marks. 2012 Chevrolet Avalanche. It had a versatile design that allowed owners to switch between an enclosed cabin and an open truck bed with its innovative midgate system. For many, it seemed like the perfect truck for both work and play. However, those who bought the 2012 Chevrolet Avalanche quickly discovered that this innovative design came with some serious drawbacks that made it one of the least reliable trucks in its class. The most glaring issue was its early cylinder deactivation failure, which led to severe misfires and reduced engine performance. General Motors' active fuel management system, meant to improve fuel efficiency, instead caused excessive oil consumption and lifter failure. This problem often surfaced within the first few thousand miles, leaving many owners frustrated with declining performance and costly repairs. To make matters worse, the Avalanche was notorious for expensive transmission repairs that often occurred within the first few years of ownership. Transmission slipping, rough shifting, and eventual total transmission failure were commonly reported, with many owners having to spend thousands of dollars on repairs. A sport utility vehicle truck hybrid sounds great until you are stuck in the repair shop every other week. 2010 Nissan Frontier. For those looking for a compact, reliable truck, it seemed like an obvious choice. However, the 2010 Nissan Frontier turned out to be a nightmare for many owners due to multiple serious mechanical flaws that surfaced shockingly early in its lifespan. One of the most catastrophic issues with this truck was its coolant leaking into the transmission, a failure caused by a factory defect. The transmission oil cooler inside the radiator would crack, allowing coolant to mix with transmission fluid. This mixture, often referred to as the strawberry milkshake of death, would completely destroy the transmission. Many owners discovered this issue only after experiencing sudden transmission failure, and in most cases, repairs cost thousands of dollars, sometimes exceeding the value of the truck itself. Additionally, the 2010 Nissan Frontier suffered from frequent power steering pump failures. Owners reported heavy steering, whining noises, and in some cases, complete steering loss. This problem was not only inconvenient, but also posed a serious safety risk, particularly for those using the truck for towing or off-road adventures. A mid-sized truck should last for decades, but for some owners, this one barely made it a few months. 2008 Ford F-350 Super Duty. This model, equipped with the controversial 6.4-liter Power-Stroke diesel engine, seemed like the ultimate workhorse. However, for many buyers, it turned into a costly disaster that left them regretting their purchase after just a few thousand miles. One of the most significant and costly problems with this model was engine coolant leaks, which stemmed from faulty exhaust gas recirculation and diesel particulate filter systems. These failures led to rapid overheating, engine damage, and in some cases, total engine failure. Many owners found themselves replacing entire cooling system components within the first few years, an expense that was completely unexpected in a truck built for heavy-duty performance. To make matters worse, fuel pump replacements were a frequent and costly necessity, with failures occurring well before reaching 50,000 miles. Many owners reported repair bills climbing into the thousands, making the ownership experience unbearable. For diesel fans, we are not done yet. There is another one coming that is even worse. 2007 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. The Chevrolet Silverado has long been a favorite among full-size truck buyers, known for its strong engines and comfortable ride. However, the 2007 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 had some serious flaws that turned it into a major disappointment for many owners. One of the biggest issues was excessive oil consumption, which many owners noticed almost immediately. Some had to add a full quart of oil every 1,000 miles, a problem that stemmed from faulty piston rings and General Motors' problematic active fuel management system. If left unchecked, this led to premature engine wear and, in some cases, complete engine failure. The Silverado's transmission was another major weak point, with frequent reports of slipping, harsh shifts, and total failure within the first 5,000 miles. Many owners found themselves replacing the transmission far sooner than expected, making this model one of the least reliable Silverado generations. It gets worse. This next truck had a reputation so bad that lawsuits followed. 2006 Dodge Ram 2500 Cummins. Many buyers expected this truck to be their reliable companion for years, hauling heavy loads and enduring rough terrain with ease. With its powerful diesel engine and rugged frame, it promised performance that could withstand extreme conditions. However, for many owners, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare within the first few thousand miles. One of the most commonly reported issues with this model was premature ball joint failure. A vehicle of this size and power requires a strong and stable front suspension, but owners frequently complained about excessive play in the steering, clunking noises when turning, and uneven tire wear. These symptoms pointed to a critical problem with the ball joints, which often had to be replaced much sooner than expected. This issue not only caused handling difficulties, but also led to significant safety concerns, especially for those who used the truck for towing or off-road driving. A truck that was supposed to last a lifetime barely made it past its first few years without major problems. A truck that should last forever, but for many, it barely made it out of warranty. 2005 Nissan Titan. On paper, the Titan seemed like a formidable contender, offering a powerful V-shaped 8-cylinder engine, a spacious interior, and a rugged frame designed for both work and play. Many buyers were drawn to the truck's aggressive styling and strong performance numbers, expecting a dependable alternative to the American giants. Unfortunately, reality did not match the promise, and many early owners found themselves selling the truck well before reaching 5,000 miles. Fuel economy was another sore point for Titan owners, and it was made even worse by faulty oxygen sensors. These sensors play a crucial role in ensuring the engine maintains optimal fuel efficiency, but on the Nissan Titan, they frequently failed. This led to poor fuel economy, rough idling, and an overall decline in performance. Many Titan owners found themselves spending more on fuel than expected, making the truck an even greater financial burden. For many buyers, the Titan's early promise of power and reliability turned into frustration, leading them to trade in or sell their truck much sooner than expected. Nissan's first full-size truck, but let's just say it was not a home run. 2004 Ford F-150 with 5.4-liter Triton V-shaped 8-cylinder engine. This model, equipped with the 5.4-liter Triton V-shaped 8-cylinder engine from the early 2000 era, developed a reputation for some of the most infamous mechanical failures in truck history. Many owners who purchased this truck with high expectations were met with costly repairs within just a few thousand miles, forcing them to sell or trade it in far earlier than anticipated. One of the most well-documented and dreaded issues was the spark plug ejection problem. The engine was notorious for shooting out spark plugs due to weak threads in the aluminum cylinder heads. This was not just an inconvenience. It often resulted in significant engine damage that required costly repairs. Many owners faced the possibility of replacing the entire cylinder head, an expensive and time-consuming fix that could easily surpass the truck's market value. Another serious issue was with the timing chain system. The timing chains in this model were prone to stretching and premature failure, leading to loud rattling noises and eventually catastrophic engine failure. Faced with such costly and frequent mechanical failures, many owners decided that selling the truck was the best financial decision. This next truck had issues so expensive that many owners simply gave up on repairs. 2003 Ford Super Duty with 6.0-liter Power Stroke diesel engine. The Ford Super Duty lineup has long been praised for its ability to handle heavy-duty workloads, but the models equipped with the 6.0-liter Power Stroke diesel engine were plagued with reliability issues that quickly earned them a reputation as one of the most problematic diesel trucks ever built. Head gasket failures were almost inevitable, often due to design flaws that led to excessive heat and pressure within the engine. These failures resulted in coolant leaks, overheating, and eventual engine breakdowns. Repairing head gasket issues on this engine was a major job, often requiring thousands of dollars in labor and parts. The exhaust gas recirculation system and oil cooler were also frequent points of failure. Clogged coolers and faulty valves led to overheating, loss of power, and poor fuel efficiency. Many owners were forced to replace or modify these systems within the first few months of ownership just to keep the truck running. Turbocharger failures were another common complaint. The turbo system frequently suffered from clogged vanes and actuator malfunctions, leading to erratic performance and costly repairs. For many truck owners, the 6.0-liter Power Stroke diesel engine became synonymous with frustration, forcing them to sell their trucks well before reaching 5,000 miles. The infamous 6.0 Power Stroke, arguably one of the most problematic diesels ever made. 2021 Ram 1500 TRX. This model was designed to take on the most challenging terrain while delivering sports car levels of performance. However, despite its impressive specifications, many owners found themselves parting with their TRX after just a few months. One of the biggest concerns was the high cost of ownership. The supercharged Hellcat engine, while exhilarating to drive, required meticulous maintenance and premium fuel, making it extremely expensive to keep on the road. Transmission durability was another issue. Many owners who pushed their TRX hard in off-road or high-performance scenarios reported early transmission problems, including overheating and gear slipping. Poor real-world fuel economy was the final straw for many owners. With single-digit miles per gallon in many conditions, the TRX proved to be too costly for daily use. For a truck that was supposed to be the ultimate performance machine, the high maintenance costs and durability concerns led many to sell it quickly. Owning a truck is a big investment, so before you sign that contract, make sure it is not one of these early trade-ins. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.